Hello, my dear sinners. We are here on a beautiful occasion, starting off with James Cameron's work back in 1997 when the movie Titanic debuted. Stock totaling over billions of dollars even through the years of the releases with these movies. James Cameron knows how to smash box office records, including his successes with Avatar and Avatar 2: The Way of Water. When it comes to smashing box office record and success, this man has grossed over $3.9 billion, as much box smashing as Riley Reid. Ladies and gentlemen, growing up in the 90s, I was blessed with the beautiful work that my father told me about the books from J.R.R. Tolkien. And in December of 2001, we got The Lord of the Rings, starting off an epic fellowship masterpiece of a beautiful story of Frodo Baggins, who obtained the one ring from Bilbo that it had to be taken all the way back to the fiery chasms of Mount Doom. And when I say that these works were cinematic masterpieces, it's better than the complete utter dumpster fire bullshit that we've gotten in recent years. It wasn't political, it was heartfelt, it was beautiful, all masked into giving a great comparison against the one ring that could destroy everything. Arcs of characters that you began to understand. Frodo, Elrond, Gandalf, these types of characters and this type of lineage were not anything that we could ever dream of having within recent years, which is why Lord of the Rings is simply an untouched masterpiece. And we're not even going to get into that Rings of Power bullshit. I don't have enough alcohol and LSD in me to even talk about that right now, but I probably will in about 10 minutes. Picking up from the Fellowship of the Rings, it moved directly into The Two Towers, arguably my favorite of all three of these beautiful masterfying movies, giving us the understanding of how much was at stake. The stakes in these movies, ladies and gentlemen, the stakes that we're all seeing throughout Peter Jackson's work with this trilogy is unparalleled, unmatched, and cannot even be remotely compared to anything that we are seeing today. You had stories about lightness, darkness, one mission to destroy the ring that could consume the entire part of the world and ultimately succumb to everyone's darkest, most ill natures, which is pretty much what online porn is doing to everybody now. I know what you're all doing, you sinners. We're getting to understanding of what made these characters powerful, what made them strong, what brought them. No sexism, no crybaby political bullshit, no mediocrity, all understanding of what the complexity was of these characters. The journey that Frodo Baggins do and the power of the ring even was wanted by the Nazguls for their scream darkness, the wizards, the understanding, the effects. These weren't CGI. These were real-world locations that were given to us by Peter Jackson because he wanted to make it as pure and beautiful as possible. Nothing beats the entertainment of the scene of the river when Frodo Baggins was struck by the painful poisonous sword. This was masterful. It showed depth, complexity, understanding, and gave us an overwhelming arc of what it truly meant to have a beautiful piece of cinematography. We don't have the beautiful pieces of cinematography anymore. We have a bunch of crybaby bullshit and people that needed therapy working on the Rings of Power because they couldn't deal with the online backlash. Oh, God, I'm going to spiral on this one. Okay, I'm back. And if you couldn't get better than Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, ladies and gentlemen, this shows the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is truly one of the most best battles I was ever seen. It makes the plane battle at the airport hangar in Civil War look like a mild argument. This is how battles are done. The violence, the pain that continued into the final movie, The Return of the King. Sure, you can have your own little crybaby arguments that you thought the ending was too long, but in 2007 it ended perfectly. It ended with a masterpiece, a bow on the gift of giving us from Peter Jackson that was always wanted from J.R.R. Tolkien. There can be understandings of not wanting to see how the Hobbit trilogy played out, even though they brought Peter Jackson back to do. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Oh, God. I'll get into that dumpster fire later. But when you look at this trilogy of these three movies, you understand the good, the evil, the power, and the depth of the character building that we were given with these masterful pieces of work. This work that has been around for over 2 decades is still going to be known as the best trilogy that was ever created. The scenery, the cinematography, the acting. Even when Viggo Mortensen broke his toe by kicking the helmet when he thought that his 2 Hobbit friends were dead, or even Carl Urban breaking a rib during the scene of a fight. This type of work and lineage is hardly ever heard of, not in today's world. We look at everything that we were given from Peter Jackson and J.R.R. Tolkien. We need to preserve these legacies of these characters and keep them pure. Not let Amazon screw it up like the rings of power that they already have with their dumb dumpster fire shit. Ugh. This is what movies are about. Bringing families together, going to the movies, watching them at home. These cinematic masterpieces are worth all of the 12 hours of the extended cut for people to see, know, and ultimately love. When movies are good, they're great. And when they're great, I love them. And when I love them even more. And when they're complete shit, they deserve to burn. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is a movie, a trilogy, a set of books that was given to us decades ago that will not be burned. They will be cherished for generations to come. These are the types of movies that people can enjoy with simple love, respect, and legacy for all of these characters. To put it simply, my dear sinners, this is a win.